a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The bits, the bits, the bits, the bits, the bits.
You should do the intro.
I should do the intro. Oh my god. What if I did an intro to a podcast? Welcome to The Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds, Charlie.
And fuck, who am I?
Who
I
are
don't know.
you?
After the last episode, I'm like, am I actually just like a watermelon Robert who's being controlled by another Robert somewhere off in the world?
I think you are. I think
who
this is
am
all
I?
a simulation, actually.
Oh God, I'm so grateful I don't have that. It's Robert, by the way. I don't have that anxiety, thank God. And if you do out there, damn, bro, that's rough.
You know, sometimes I'm just like, I definitely have out-of-body experiences where I'm like, oh god, why am I me? Why am I in this form?
Why am I me in this form? But it's a lot better than having to deal with the cluster possibly erupting and destroying the earth. I mean, if that was the case, we would need a gem drill to get to it, which is today's episode, season 3, episode 2, Gem Drill, which premiered May 12, 2016.
I love the segues every time. Robert outdoes himself. Y'all need to give them praise.
There was only like 1 or 2 episodes where I could not for the life of me. I think like log date 7152, I could not for the life of me find a way to segue into it.
How does one segue into log date 7152? I don't know.
Exactly. But we should segue ourselves into, hey, Charlie, did the postman bring us any post?
Hey, Mr. Postman, bring me the post. Bring me the post I love the most.
As we said last week, we saved a couple more for this episode. So, Charlie, read our first email for today.
So this email comes from our dear friend Tekena from the Deus Ex Media Discord server. So Tekena, you tried to make an email for this purpose of emailing us and having your name come up correctly. And it still does not come up as Tekena because whatever you used on this still comes up with your supposedly legal name, which I refuse to call you.
It feels illegal to know this. Like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, that feels illegal.
It really does.
I only know Tekena as Tekena, not as this name I see in front of me. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's illegal. Can't happen. Not true. So she sent us more post. Hello, Charlie and Robert. I refuse to edit myself. Have I ever been betrayed by one who calls me a friend? I too was in middle school, and I have 2 situations with the same chick. Asked this friend if they wanted to hang out, and they said they could, only to later find a big group of friends and hung out without me. After she moved away, a third girl, who was always pretty bitchy, tricked me into agreeing that the first friend was sometimes weird, and then decided to tell her I had called her weird. She sent an email chewing me out and then blocked me. I was devastated that I couldn't explain my side. Years later, when I was in our town, several people told her she needed to be nice. Even the girl who sold me out, she was trying to achieve best friend status, not to split us up. But I was over that shit and just ignored her. Moral of the story, I will try to make amends, but if you're mean for no reason, I will very much just be done. Don't need that drama. Okay, much love. Tekena. Yes, it's me, not an imposter. I decided to get a podcast-only email. You need to fix your name on it. You need to. That's my comment.
Maybe this just isn't Tekena. Maybe this is just a lie. This is a trick.
I think it's a lie. I think this is this secret other person, perhaps, that made a Tekena email. Who's to say? But also, yeah, middle school girls really do suck.
Middle school, I don't have a lot of experience with middle school girls, but they were kind of bitchy.
Middle school boys also suck.
Middle school, yeah, so that was my bread and butter. Middle school boys, they liked to punch me and call me slurs.
Can you send me the address of these people, Robert? Because I will punch a bitch.
Oh, like, so here's the thing. when you're 8 years old, or from like when you're 8 years old in New York, at least, you find out about the word gay. You see that kid with the last name Gamer, you kick his ass. And then when you're like 13, you're going through a lot of stuff internally, and you're like, instead of dealing with this, I'm gonna kick the gamer guy's ass. And then 15 years later, when you're like 26, 27, you see like during Pride, that gamer kid will see you coming out of the closet being like, hey, I've been so like closeted for my whole life. I just came to terms with who I am. Happy Pride. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
Send me this person's location. I will punch a bitch.
Thank you. I appreciate it, but I will not. They had to go through a journey, even if it meant punching me. But we have our last email for now from Cora. Cora says, hello, Robert and Charlie. My name is Cora, and I wanted to tell you how much I love your podcast. I really don't like being in silence because it causes me to be alone in my thoughts, and your podcast really helps with that. Fucking mood. I like hearing all your takes on the characters and the themes of the show. I started listening to the show a little while ago, and I finally caught up. You two keep making me laugh about the show, and I can't express how much I appreciate it. I don't know many people who like Steven Universe, and being able to hear how others feel about it makes me so happy. Your podcast genuinely makes me smile so much. Thank you for rambling about Steven Universe, Cora. Cora, thank you for sending such a lovely email.
Thank you so much. You made us smile today, so.
I refuse to smile on principle.
I've seen them smile, actually. I've seen it. It's happened.
Punch you in the fucking throat. I'm going to fly to your location right now.
After I said I would, like, hurt your homophobic people who hurt you.
I'll have you know I'm both homophobic and gay.
Yes, we know. Just like your bullies.
Damn. Oh my God.
Now that's our last post, so we need more posts, guys.
We need you to post more posts, and if you don't post more posts, then
I'll cry again.
Charlie's gonna read really bad Steven Universe fanfiction out loud, like the really bad Steven Universe fanfiction.
I've never read Steven Universe fanfiction.
It's the first time for everything.
So we're gonna have to find some. It's gonna be great.
First time for everything. I'm just gonna specifically look up like what's the worst ship. I'm gonna look up like Sapphire Greg smut and have you read it out loud.
Who would make this?
I'm just gonna quit. I'm just gonna put this on my Google right now, just to see if anyone's Sapphire.
Honestly, Robert, just look at like Rebecca Sugar's art, because Rebecca Sugar makes their own crack ships of Steven Universe characters. Have you seen the art of Amethyst and Sadie?
And the whole thing with Amethyst being like, "Can I be me this time?" And it's like, ah.
But Amethyst just shapeshifted into Lars.
Yeah. Oh man, you know what? Maybe we could invite Rebecca Sugar on this podcast, and if they try and look at anything we've said and be like, that's weird, we'll be like, bestie, look at your fucking sketchbook.
I think I just would go through all of like the different little Steven Universe arts that they've done over the years and be like, so I have questions for you, and they all relate to these.
How in the closet were you? Like, how big of a revelation was it when you came out to yourself? I need to know, because your art speaks for itself.
Also, are you in therapy?
So the episode starts immediately picking up after the events of Super Watermelon Island. Steven wakes up to find the ground shaking from an earthquake. Peridot is yelling at him to get up and get in the drill. She's like, where are the others? And he's like, well, they're stuck on Mask Island. They can't warp back.
This boy, literally underneath him, the earth is like breaking apart underneath his little bed on the grass. The chalkboard falls on top of him. Like, this is traumatic. This is trauma.
I call inaccuracy in Steven Universe, because what I have learned is that if a giant like flat chalkboard or something equivalent, like a bulletin board or a chalkboard or something, falls on you while you're sleeping, you wake up flat. I
was literally thinking of making a Flat Stanley reference. Thank you, Robert.
Flat Stanley.
My childhood.
My hoe right there. Flat Stanley, the flat bitch. I love him so much.
Yep. But Steven is not Flat Stanley. He is Steven. And he and Peridot she's going to traumatize him again and be like, are you ready to drill into your planet's core like no other human has and defeat this cluster? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, no, you have to tell me it's going to be great. We're going to do it. And so he does. And they go. They get in this tiny fucking drill. And he's like, I'm bracing for impact. And it's like, that's going to be in about 2 hours. So why did they rush in here? Why didn't somebody grab an iPod or like You know? Where's our entertainment? We needed a book of some kind. Maybe some water, just in case.
I don't think there's time to get anything, my guy. I think they just have to sort of start drilling fast.
True. It's just funny. Peridot turns on some music. And it's like elevator music.
It's giving like the reverse of Persebeth coming back from Tartarus listening to Muzak, I think it was, right?
Oh my god, okay, so I distinctly remember exactly what song they were listening to, and it was the Pina Colada song.
Yeah, there we go. That's what it was.
It was the Pina Colada song, because I was like, oh, immediately goes on my Rick Riordan playlist. Like, that's ridiculous. That's funny. Oh, why Rick? I feel like that's only a good reference for older people.
Mm.
Or people who have seen Guardians of the Galaxy, because it is in one of the CDs of Guardians, in fact. So Steven's like, this is kind of freaking me out, and I can't stretch at all. How are we all supposed to fit in here?
Very carefully.
They can barely fit in here comfortably.
I mean, how many people really need to go down to touch the cluster? Like, what? Come on. Like, how many people?
I mean, yeah, I love it. She's just like, maybe they'll shrink. I don't know. Something's gonna happen. And then they break through the next layer, and it is hot. Steven thinks it's lava, but it's actually peridotite, which is made of the same thing as peridots. We love it. We're getting emotional, though, because poor Peridot is like, I was made on Homeworld. I don't know how to feel about, like, all of that, because I can't ever go back. But I have you guys, I guess.
She keeps trying to play it off like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you guys are okay, I guess.
And now there's more freaking gem mutants here. I think this was probably the correct team to go down anyway, because that's probably what they planned anyway, was like, oh yeah, Peridot has to go down because she's the one who's like built this thing, and Steven has to go down because he's the main character, and also he's our guy who talks. And he's going to fix it by talking.
As he always does.
If Garnet was here, I think she would still have some trauma around these gem mutants. And she would not be able to function very well.
Kind of rightfully so. Like, it is pretty fucking traumatic.
I don't think Amethyst would do well in this tight, enclosed space and be very helpful on this mission. Maybe Pearl would be helpful. But, like, again, I think she fills the role that Peridot fills in this. Pearl would bring them snacks, though. So we gotta blast the gem mutants with our little video game controller. And Steven's like, it feels wrong. Does it feel wrong, Robert, to destroy these gem mutants?
Considering what we find out, like, in future that they can be saved, yeah, it's kind of fucked.
I want to know if they ever fucking cure the cluster and all of that. Like,
presumably they do, unless it's just chilling there asleep for the rest of the time.
They need to find a way to get all of those gem shards out of there at some point.
Right.
But Peridot is explaining that right now, those gems are just too broken. They just want to search for other pieces of themselves to make themselves whole again. They don't know who they are. They don't know what's going on. It's just, if your arm was cut off from your body and gained sentience, it doesn't have eyes. It doesn't know what's happening. It's just like, is this another part of my body? Nope. Okay, let's look. Is this another part of my body? Nope. That's what's going on here. That's what's just going on with these gem shards. Like, where am I? What's going on? Who am I?
Who am I? Who am I? What are you even saying?
And they finally make it down there. They're deep in the crust. I love that Peridot's got these little binocular things so she can look down there before they eventually go in. And it's the cluster. It's gigantic.
It is literally, just it's fucking huge, my guy.
It's not exactly the size of like it's not the core of the earth necessarily, but it's like it's in there. Is pretty far down in there, and it's pretty freaking big. So, and it's taking form already. So, what are we gonna do? We gotta do something. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say our final words. And Steven's like, I love you, Peridot. Wow, thanks. Because he gave her a present once again.
Yeah, and the way she's like also tearing up and about to cry a little bit, it's like, my emotions.
My emotions! but it doesn't fully get to form. It tries and then it does not work. It's still trying its hardest to do the forming thing. So they position the drill. They actually have 3 drills on this thing that morph into the one big drill.
They're gonna drill the fuck out of this bitch. Except Steven's like, hey, what if we did a peaceful approach? You know, he's Steven Universe. It's a shtick. He's like, the cluster doesn't know what it's doing and it needs help. Peridot wants to still destroy it, saying that it being conscious is irrelevant because like it can still destroy the world.
Yeah. And so as soon as the drill itself reaches like the gems all the way down there, Steven starts getting a headache and he's just like, oh my God, what is happening? This feels wrong. I think it's the sound. I don't know what's going on. Just keep going. It's fine. I consent. And they lose some drills. And Steven is seeing ghosts, ? So it's not going great. We only have 1 drill left, and Steven is freaking out. He is seeing the cluster. It is trying to contact him, and suddenly he's all by himself in this open space. He's passed out. He's in the mindscape.
He's in the Matrix, essentially.
Okay. So something I was thinking about when we covered the last episode that I didn't actually say. I feel like the episode, the new Lars, happens in this season, in like a few episodes from now. I feel like that should have happened before all of this. You know what I mean? Because I think that's a good, like, non-main plot episode that gets to the point of Steven is like an empath. Steven can go into other people's bodies.
Steven's here to help. Steven's here to help. Steven's here to help. Help Steven. Help Steven.
I feel like that would have been a good foreshadowing kind of thing of what Steven is capable of. Instead, we get like Steven goes into the watermelons, which we didn't already know he was connected to them. We didn't know that he could overtake one until we saw it happen. That was a little weird. And now we're seeing the weird mindscape of him and the empathy thing, which this is the same thing I think that happens in the Garnet wedding episode, right?
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what happens in like Reunited when he's trying to like talk to all the other gems and he's trying to connect with the diamonds, because instead he's like in this dark space and all that's around him are these little shards.
And these shards, eventually, it's revealed, are like that's the cluster. That's it. The cluster's unconscious. It'll wake up soon, and it's like, hey, Mr. Cluster, can you not, please? Don't form. You'll destroy the earth. Try finding other pieces of yourself because you want to be whole again, and that's bad. You're going to destroy the world. So you just got to like find all the pieces and bury yourself in the earth.
Yeah, I love it how Steven's like, wow, you're like, you got a one-track mind here. You just want to form. You just want to form. Okay. But you know what? You want to become whole. And there's so many of you. See, shard, meet shard. You have so much to talk about, right? They do a little, how do you do? How's it going? And it's so cute.
It's reminding me a little bit of that scene. It's completely unrelated, but it's reminding me of that scene in Iron Man 3 when like they're falling from the plane and Tony is like, okay, everyone, barrel of monkeys, grab your monkey.
My goodness.
Don't fucking shake your head at me.
It's been a while since I've seen this movie. I don't remember everything, okay?
Hey, Charlie, let's make a podcast where we go through all the Marvel properties.
No!
Come on, we'll start with the original Spider-Man.
Robert, here's an idea. Bring some of this stuff to your YouTube, okay? You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to.
I'm gonna do that in YouTube. It's fine. How do I keep making content when I feel like I've hit my magnum opus and now it's like, now what? I just keep making stuff.
I'm telling you, when are you gonna make something for Percy's birthday this year? He's turning 17. How long has he been 17?
What's the thing from Twilight? I'm 17. How long have you been 17? A while.
So that's what I said. I just said it.
Oh.
But he's also turning 17 again.
It's so funny because as of the latest book, I think it's like still, because it's supposed to be after the end of Trials, which I think is like the end of June. So technically we're like in July, which makes me think that the next fucking Rick book is going to be like in late July. I'm like, God, they're going to fucking tease this boy and never make him turn 18.
No, like Rick is going to go backwards in time. okay? Percy is not allowed to age past 17, ever. And if he does, well, I feel like the time would have been after 20 years of this book series existing, but he didn't let it happen. So we'll see. Anyway, back to Steven Universe. Steven has convinced the cluster that, you know, they can be friends. There's so many of them, they can all be friends. They can stay here. They don't need to form. Except they kind of can't stop now. Like they already were trying so hard to form that it's gonna happen. He wakes up. We are out of this mindscape, and it's bubbling itself. He started trying to bubble all the little pieces of the gems, and now he's bubbling the cluster with help from the cluster. It's so good.
They're all getting their monkeys, barrel of monkeys.
More importantly, how the fuck did the drill get out of there? Because they kind of got wedged to one side of this cave.
A lot of fucking luck, that's how.
Clearly. But they make it back out, and the gems are back. They're with Lapis. She's, you know, I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't make them poof or anything, but, you know, I guess we didn't want to redesign Jasper and Lapis right now. But Lapis is still unconscious, and Steven has to explain what the fuck just happened to all of the gems who don't understand anything.
They just don't get it. They wouldn't understand.
They weren't there. You had to be there.
You had to be there.
So, Robert, should we go to the Crystal Temple?
For some Crystal Temple trivia?
This episode's name was first revealed in the episode listing on the Cartoon Network website.
The power to create containment bubbles is featured heavily here, and its limits are further explored. Steven can create bigger than normal bubbles, albeit with some assistance. A gem does not have to touch an object directly to be able to bubble it.
Peridot affirms that the magma of Earth is composed of melted peridotite, the same component that Homeworld uses to create Peridot gems.
The gem drill, despite boring to the core of the Earth at a phenomenally fast rate, hardly damaged the cluster surface at all, a testament to the sheer hardness of the cluster.
The cluster is revealed to be a gestalt entity. I don't know how to say that word. But basically that means being made up of multiple consciousnesses. And now for cultural references. The controller that Peridot gives Steven resembles a Nintendo 64 controller. However, the controller differs from its real-life counterpart. The fourth yellow C button, the letter C between the yellow C buttons, the green B button, the blue A button, and the word Nintendo on the front are missing. In the drill's cockpit, there are words in Russian Cyrillic that say numbers, control 1, parameter 2, circuit 3. This is a reference to the Russian Mir space station command control panel.
A scene just before Steven enters the cluster's mine, in which the floor of the drill seems to dissolve under his feet and reappear, is very similar to a scene from the film Contact, in which Jodie Foster's character, Ellie Haraway, experiences the same phenomenon before she enters a wormhole in her space pod.
And now for continuity. This episode shows that Steven can communicate with fusions, like how he did with Malachite in the Malachite realm and Chilatide. So I guess they did already kind of do some of that before, but you know.
The crystal gems are still stuck on Mask Island following the destruction of the warp pad during the fight in Super Watermelon Island.
Peridot refers to ears as head holes, similar to how she referred to other body parts in Too Far.
After Steven says he loves Peridot, she replies, "Wow, thanks," a possible callback to log date 7152.
I love that. The barn still has a big hole on its walls from Peridot's rampage and message received, albeit covered in a blue tarp.
And now it's time for our pro points. Charlie, who are you giving your pro point to?
I want to give it to the shards.
I'm giving it to Peridot.
I think those two shards, new ship. Shard and shard. Shard X shard.
Shard X shard. We need to find the Shard X shard smut. That's what we're looking for.
That's what we're looking for, is the Shard X smart. Shard X shard. Shard X shard smut. I can't speak. And now for the question. What is the question?
Are you gay?
Robert, we can't ask that every week.
We can ask that forever. It's the weekly check-in to make sure you're still gay.
How existential do we want to get? That's the real question of it all.
Well, last week we asked about, have you ever had like lucid dreams? This week, hey, like, have you ever had a near-death experience? This is about as close as Steven's come to death so far.
No, he's come pretty close to it before too.
I don't know.
Remember that time that Pearl almost killed him when they got in that rocket ship?
Yeah. That doesn't count. We are now at the precipice of, oh shit, the cluster is about to explode in our face. We're about to die.
He did in fact wake up to the Earth opening up and almost being flattened. So Have I had a near-death experience? I feel like I do every time I drive in my car.
Same.
Yeah.
My near-death experiences, I have a couple of them. One time I almost got hit by a car, but I saw like a shadow out of the corner of my eye that alerted me, and then I was like, oh, it's a car. Boing! The other time I almost tripped and fell onto the train tracks as the train was coming, and I caught myself at the last second, and I didn't die. And let's see, I was depressed up until like very severely depressed until like I was like 24. So take from that what you will. So that's a bunch of near death experiences I survived. And that's it.
I'm also going to add my any shower for me. Every time I get in the shower,
Oh, when you like slip a little and you're like, oh, this is it. This is how I die.
this is literally this happened to me the other day. I was like, I'm gonna die in the shower. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be the worst way to go, honestly.
It's just going to be the worst way to go.
I've already severely injured myself in the shower before. So
Just don't injure yourself.
like I have lost partial feeling in my knee because of a shower injury, and it never healed correctly because I was like, well, I have work and in 20 minutes I kind of have to go.
Yeah, it just really be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Ever fuck up your body for capitalism?
Every goddamn day of my life.
Seriously. Yeah, that's the episode.
That's the episode, folks. Love how we ended the episode this time. But as always, if every podcast were perfect,
We wouldn't have the bits.
Bizers. You can follow this podcast socials at thebitssupod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our dime line through thebitssupod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie, me. Or if you cannot do that or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with Ray called Of the Eldest Gods, where we talk about the mythology book series by Rick Riordan, starting with Percy Jackson. I also co-host a podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. If you want to hear more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called the Damn Meme page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. If you want to find me elsewhere in the podcast verse, you can also tune into my podcast, The Pit Crew, a show dedicated to dissecting the HBO Max medical drama, The Pit. The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Content and Capable that follow Sam as he tries to figure out what it truly means to adult.
Have you ever gotten so distracted in Stardew Valley that you forgot to sleep? Have you realised that you have a whole room in your house full of dolls? Or have you even bored your friends to sleep talking about your passion? Well then, Content Capable is the podcast for you. Join me, Sam, as I chat to people passionate about what they do, asking questions about how they fell in love with their passion, what they do, and how it interacts with their day-to-day lives. Catch the podcast every Monday as I find out what makes someone tick, all while gleaning interesting and insightful life lessons along the way. There'll be laughs, a bit of crying, a whole lot of conversations, and we learn just a little bit more about the world around us.
Dave X Media.